Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be comparing Divine Rose 1 to Divine Rose 2. Okay, so I'm going to start by just applying a little bit of foundation. I actually have to mix these two. So this one is the Shiseido Synchro Skin. I'm the shade 350 Maple. I think I actually got that too light, so I'm gonna go in and mix it with Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Praline. So I'm just in that weird stage where I kind of had a little tan when I was going outside for walks a little, but then I lost my tan, and so it's, you know, can't go outside. So I'm just gonna mix the two, and I'm not gonna apply a lot of foundation just because I have the scarf, and I feel like when you have accessories, you don't really need too much of a full face. Also, half of my forehead is covered, so. And today I'm applying with a buffer brush because I find that when you apply foundation with a brush, it gets more into your skin and it doesn't leave you kind of patchy. And it's also great for if you're trying to apply minimal makeup. And then you can always go in with your powder and just smoothen everything. Alright, so that's, could have done with a little more praline, but we'll use bronzer for that. Then I'm just gonna go in with my Bare Minerals powder in the shade Sable 21. I'm just gonna use a fluffy brush and just apply that all over. I actually like applying my concealer after I do my eyes, so that's why I'm applying powder now. And then to prime my lids, I'm gonna go in with the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer. What I like about this concealer is that it's kind of thin and liquidy, and I got it a shade lighter because I don't necessarily use this for my under eye. But if I do, I'm gonna use it under my foundation just because it's so highlighting. But because this is a thinner concealer, I guess you could say a little bit watery. It allows you to apply it on your lid, and I like it for eyeshadow primer. Well, you guys have already seen Divine Rose 2, so I think I'm gonna start with Divine Rose. With this, ooh, yeah. This one. What I usually do is I like to swatch a couple colors just to see which color story I want to apply on my lid, and I think I'm gonna go in with this peach color. Okay, I think this is a nice color story, so I'm gonna do, okay, so I'm gonna take the shade Extreme Mahogany and just, ooh, that is pigmented, girl. That is, whoa there, buddy. Oh, wow. Oh, it looks nice. Great blendability. Okay, so this shade actually comes out a little purple on me. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna take the shade Rose Dusk and just apply that on the outer corner, building into the middle of the lid. You can see that building up. Just gonna go in a little. Oh yeah, it gives it that pinky. See the difference? With the same blender brush, I'm just gonna take that shade Extreme Burgundy and just blend that over the crease, just to give it more of a pop. And then I'm gonna take the shade VR Rose Venus. Oh, look at that color. And then I'm just gonna apply that on the inner portion of the lid. I got a little happy, so we're just gonna wipe. I think I'm actually gonna take a precision brush and just go in with that same shade. And then we don't want to lose that rose dusk, so I'm just gonna go back in and blend. And I think we're gonna play with this gold color. It's called Refined Gold. Refined Gold. And we're just gonna, oh. Okay, Mother Pat. I see where we're going. Ooh. What? And then I think we're just gonna go in with Rose Dusk and then just complete that. Okay, so my eyelashes are done. And I think, honestly, shall we take this up a notch? I think I'm gonna take Astral Solstice right in the inner corner. Just a little bit, just a little. Okay, I barely grabbed any. Okay, I don't see much of a difference. Do you guys see a difference? I think I'm just gonna keep it. Oh, this rose gives me a nice, you see that? Okay, so I'm done with my look. I'm gonna add blush with the same tapered brush I use my bronzer with, because this is a contour blush palette. So it's kind of like the same, it's gonna give the same effect. What color? How about this one? This one? I think we'll go with this one. Oh yes. This one. I don't think these blushes have names. I'm just gonna say the pinky maroony one. Oh yes. Girl. Okay, since our look is kind of done and very shimmery, I guess you could say, I'm gonna go in with a different highlight because, you know, I have like so many highlighters. So for my last video, I used the Fenty Beauty highlight, the Afternoon Snack. But I think today I'm gonna use the Joy, ooh, that's bright, highlighter. It's the shade Ice. Icing out. So it's very white, but honestly, it doesn't come off that way on me. Especially if you put it on top of like bronzer or a nice warm blush, it kind of picks up the bronzer and the blush instead of giving you that white cast. But I find that I can't like swipe it this way with this blush, I mean highlighter. Okay, so this was Divine Rose 1. And like I said, this was my color story. I think I might have used enough. No, I didn't. I stuck with this. I almost did with the inner corner. But yes, so this look is this. Oh, I love the smell of her glosses. I still have yet to get the chocolate one and the light like ballerina slipper kind of pink. That one's really pretty. But this one is the fussy. I'm like almost out. But yeah, I feel like a lot of glosses, I look the same with or without. Sometimes like you get a tint, but I feel like my lips are colored, so it's a little different. Okay, so now I'm gonna do Divine Rose 2, and I think I'm gonna do a poppier look with this palette. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm gonna be back. In my last video, I used Eleganza and Gold Lust, and I don't want to cheat and use Extraterrestrial again. I think we're gonna compare the peach with the gold in Divine Rose 2. And so she marks this shade right here as not necessarily eye safe, and I mean it's more so of a use at your own will type of shade, just because it can possibly stain the lids or cause irritation. But if you just wipe it off really well, it won't stain your lid, especially if you have primer on your lid. I think that would be better. I wouldn't use it without some sort of concealer or primer on your lid. But still, I think I'm just gonna use this color on the outer corner of my lid, just to be a little safe. Okay. Let's see. So I'm just gonna take this shade and lightly tap in my crease and then going into my outer corner. Oh, this is about to be completely different than the other look. I love it already. And the thing I like about this pink color is that you can build it up. And I'd rather have a color you can build up than a color you have to wipe off because it's so bright. So, should we go all the way to the brow bone? We might. And then I'm just gonna take this brush and just pack it on my lid. Just because I don't want to rub it in too much, because then that also can potentially stain. As you can see, I also kept on my other look because this is just so nice. And I really want to compare the two, even though this is like already. I'm just gonna go in with this yellow gold. I will pop the name up. And I'm gonna go in with the Fenty Beauty Precision brush and just tap that, ooh, on the inner corner. So now we're seeing the difference between the peachy color and then the actual gold color. And I think because when you layer these, they tend to pick up different lighting, which is great. Ooh. Look at that. Oh my God. This is so pretty. I think I'm actually gonna drag that a little bit more and just brush it in. Okay, so I already applied my concealer and I added a little bit of the gold, the same gold color on the lower lash line, just a little bit. And I actually changed my blush. I don't know if you guys can tell. This one is more of a softer pink, I guess you could say like a mauve. Instead, I went in with this Tarte blush on this side, just to match that kind of pinky tone on the outside. And I really like this look. I really have been trying to challenge myself and not use Sexual Terrestrial on camera just because it's so pretty, but I just want to play with the other colors in the palette. But I feel like the shade Sexual Terrestrial is a good shade to just throw on the lid. I mean, put a little outer corner like matte color shade and then just pop on Sexual Terrestrial. You can use that with your finger or a brush and you're good to go. Put some mascara, you're good to go. But I feel like if you really want to play with this palette, I think it's a good idea to try and use other shades in that palette as well. I could have also used this blush, this eyeshadow as a blush. I didn't even think about that. Huh. So in terms of the palettes, I used this one on this side, Divine Rose. As you can see, the peachy tone, as well as this extreme mahogany. And a little bit of this color as well. Whereas on this side, I use this palette. And I hope you guys can see the difference. But I really enjoyed using both of these palettes for my look. I think it came out really nice. And I cannot wait to wear these outside. Okay. So that's all today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed and this gave you a little bit of inspo for both Divine Rose 1 and 2. I feel like with Divine Rose, people feel like you can't get too much of a pigment because there are a lot of, I guess, neutral tones in here. But you definitely can get a warm and kind of sultry look, which I like. And then if you pair it with a nice lip, it just brings out that warmth in that eye. Or even the blush and bronzer, it really brings that out, as you can see. And on this side, you can also, if you're afraid of the pigmentation or like the deep tones in this palette, I feel like approaching it with, like, if you were scared of approaching the pink color, I think it's really good just to use the pink on the outer corner. I mean, you can use it on the inner corner. You might have a little bit of stain because that shade is marked as stain. But other than that, I think it looks really nice. And I do see the similarities. This one is definitely more poppy and this one's definitely a little more toned down. But as you can see, you can get a great look. And honestly, I wouldn't mind wearing these two differently outside because they complement each other so well. But yeah, even on my arm when I did the swatches, that's why I also like to do the swatches, because you can definitely see the tones. I actually did go in with a purple shade. I will swatch it. I went in with this purple, so I gotta add that to the list. And now you can see, but I did go subtle. But yeah, so these really complement each other, and I can't wait to do more looks with this palette. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like this.